Welcome to episode 1 of Pod Snappery.
Pod snaps
Pod Snaps.
of things that are off.
The Mandalorian story.
Yes.
Jerry, go.
What about The Mandalorian? It's a tale of a man, DeLorean, out to... This is going great.
Good one. Oh,
Good one.
After a great start. I'm sure no one has done that one
Didn't
yet.
mean to do that. What do you think The Mandalorian eats? Manwich? What's his favorite cheese?
Manchester United.
That's a soccer team, isn't it?
No. Yes.
His favorite Italian food is manicotti.
Okay.
And
Just all man jokes. Hold on. Let me think of something.
go ahead. Go ahead. This is, see?
His favorite paper to write is a manifest.
It's harder to do than
Destiny.
manifest destiny.
What is that?
That means when things are supposed to happen that way. So, like when the government wants to build something over there,
It's manifest
and they're like,
destiny.
our manifest
Nothing
destiny.
you can do about it.
That's kind of how what I do when I'm in the grocery store and I knock somebody over. It's like, this is my destiny. I was going to the coffee aisle. I need half and half.
This is the way.
This is the way.
I have spoken. Those are the two big bylines of The Mandalorian so far. Bylines? I don't even know if that's the right word.
Bylines?
The two big taglines.
Taglines.
This is the way, which is much like so say we all.
Yeah.
Live long and prosper.
This is the way.
May the force be with you.
My favorite is so far has been I can
Yippee-ki-yay.
take you in warm, take you in cold.
That's my favorite
That's
too.
my favorite too. It's like my
The
coffee.
When we were watching the
coffee
first
warm.
episode,
Take my coffee cold.
I can take you in warm, or I can take you. What? I can take you in warm, or I can take you in cold.
Yeah.
Is that Pedro Pascal's voice?
Yes, it is Pedro Pascal's voice.
He is Chilean.
Yes.
Did you know that?
He's of your people.
He is my brother.
Ah.
Don't I look just like him?
Yes, exactly. You get that helmet on.
The fat DeLorean. That's me.
Oh, yes, body shaming.
Yeah.
We approve of that here on this podcast. Please send us hate mail. Well, no, don't send us hate mail because this episode is designed for those who have seen the Mandalorian episodes.
Do not listen if you don't want to be spoiled on The Mandalorian.
Correct. So all you British people, don't listen until March of 2020.
Listen.
When you get
Wait. Don't listen.
when you get
Gotta go. Don't listen.
Disney Plus.
Jason Statham says, don't listen. Gotta go.
That's not how he sounds.
It is too how he sounds.
That doesn't sound
It is exactly.
like the Meg.
The Megalodon. The shark.
How does he have a career? I don't know. I ask myself this often.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Did you see him put on those pedals and then kick people in the transporter?
I've seen he put on kick people.
He put on some skate. Like he slid into this bicycle. Like they were the pedals on the bicycle, and he like tore them off the bicycle. But they were like sharp pedals, like on a bicycle.
Like the type that
And
on
he
my
started-
Schwinn.
and he started kicking
people.
That was awesome. And he needed them because there was oil on the ground. So it gave him traction.
I've spilt my lubricant all over the floor. If only there was a way for which I could improvise footwear that could give me traction.
Pedals.
I'd be able to meet these thugs. Pedals. Did he
was
say kick somebody and say pedal to the middle?
Yes.
He makes such. This is a podcast that's supposed to be about the Mandalorian, and we're already on Jason David. All right.
It doesn't matter what we talk about. We're going to go off topic.
This podcast is supposed to be about off-topic stuff, but specifically the Mandalorian.
Pedro Pascal, born 1975, 2 years before I was.
Nice.
In Santiago de Chile.
Santiago, means James.
Unfortunately, which is undergoing a lot of civil strife.
Are they?
My father was going to go down there for a visit, and he kind of decided against it because his friends down there were like, now's not a good time.
What kind of strife? What is strife?
There's like some unrest going on.
What is unrest? I'm using
not political.
You're using words that I don't understand.
I'm not political, so I don't know.
I'm
I just
an
know
American.
There are people fighting against the government.
Oh.
And it's in Santiago.
Are they picketing?
Yes. And also
Fasting?
like doing other stuff.
Oh.
And it's not a good environment for tourism.
You know, strife
Strife.
and rest is never good
No.
for tourism.
No.
It's
You
good
know,
for tourism.
tourism.
But not tourism.
I want some terrorism. On strife and terrorism? Yes. I think they go hand in hand.
Yes.
I think I made a poem when I was in school that strife was like a key word. And it was like, okay. So
Sorry.
when I was in English class, advanced English, mind you.
Advanced
Say, oh,
tuning.
boy. As I deliberated on the things I thought Lord of the Flies was truly about, you know, did you ever like be an advanced lit and say lit for literature?
I gotcha.
That's what you call when you're in there.
I was homeschooled. So
Ad lit. That's what we called it.
Okay. Go ahead.
And we're like discussing Lord of the Flies by these boys that just like land on the side and start killing each other. Mm-hmm. And my English teacher's like, well, this means this and this means that. And I'm like, why does everything have to mean something?
As someone who was homeschooled and didn't go to
You didn't go to ad lit?
No, I went to the third grade. And after that, we didn't have that. We had dictionary and.
So did you deal with bullying? I was bullied in school.
The only bullies I had to deal
had
with was
big ears.
myself.
Huh?
I bullied myself to
How
make
did you bully
myself
yourself?
better. I looked in the mirror and told myself to be better.
Be better, you.
Be better, you.
There was a guy
Which you shouldn't
back in the
bully.
90s.
We're anti-plagiarism and we're anti-bullying.
I am severely anti-bullying because I was bullied.
Bully.
Because I was a pretty square guy back in my high school days.
What do you mean square? Was this like the 70s?
Yes, I was a square dude. And I was bullied because I didn't like go out and party with people, and I had big ears. I was bullied for my physical.
But your ears are strapped down now. Like you don't know.
Well, I kind of grew into them.
Oh, okay.
But I did have big
You're larger. Thanks, whiskey. Oh, there you go. I don't think
yeah.
that's a fact. I don't think drinking alcohol makes your
And
head
I
get
didn't
bigger.
like have a girlfriend in high school for a
Shocker.
long time.
There's something
How
I was going to
dare
bring out.
you. Wait, you're a bully.
Something I was going to bring out about your ear. I'm glad you brought this up. It's never.
I hope it doesn't irritate me.
It just doesn't bother me. But do you realize that your right ear is much, much larger than your left ear?
Yes.
Okay.
And I also know that about my nose. My nasal,
Yeah. Why is
like
it
one nostril is.
Why is it that you're lopsided? That one side is predominant.
know.
Is that your good side?
Ask genetics. I don't know. Oh, do you think you're perfect? Have you looked in the mirror lately?
You seen my cheekbones? I'm pretty darn close. Oh, no.
And that's why I go home and cry in my corner.
I have got bursitis.
I was better looking as a younger man.
You were.
But
You
now
were.
I've grown old.
We all get old. And that's why we should all wear helmets. Much like
All
the
right,
Mandalorian.
well, let's talk about Paladins of the West Kingdom. Oh, wait.
Mandalorians of the West Kingdom.
Yes.
So I was going to bring this up since you have a poor memory about the Mandalorian. We're going to talk about episode 1 and 2, and I'm going to look at this notebook that I have absolutely no notes on.
Go ahead.
So in the first episode, we're introduced to the Mandalorian. And something quite disturbs me in that first bar fight. He like completely claps this guy with a door for no reason. Like the guy was running away.
Well, he was mean to
He was
him.
running away, and he completely thought, not only am I going to drag you back through the door, I'm going to shoot at you and malfunction this door to cut you in half.
Well, don't mess with the Mandalorians, all
Okay.
I can say.
I
Okay, well, come on. Are we going to start? Let's start.
I'm starting.
Opening scene.
That is opening scene.
Doesn't he have the fob?
Mm-hmm.
And it's beeping.
The iFob.
The iFob 2000.
Yep. I don't know.
It leads him to that bar.
Literally nobody knows how those work.
Foreshadowing. Meaning fobs are important.
Like, how do they get a fob
key
out on
fob?
you? Do they like DNA you and be like attach it to
They
a
say
fob?
exactly. Like no one has explained how's this fob working because nobody had a
It
fob.
can track you wherever you're at in the universe.
Well,
Or does it start working once you get close? How does it work?
We haven't got there yet.
I want to know.
Because that's like episode 3.
Tell me, George Lucas.
When fobs are disengaged and then suddenly they re-engage in episode 3.
Well, there's
but
that
let's
guy
get there later.
Turns it on.
Stop. So episode 1, he's got a fob. Very important to the story.
I forgot this fob.
And it's for us to. What if he just like went and turned off? It was for his ship. He's locking the doors on the ship.
I can't trust these Jawas jacking my ride.
So then he goes into this saloon, basically, and as everyone has well discussed, it's a western. It's a space western.
It's like a shootout.
He goes into the saloon. People start calling him a Mando.
Yeah,
is that like a slur?
Yeah, I don't know. Should we even be
because
saying
that's
it?
what Grief Karga says.
Is it racist
towards Mandos?
I don't know.
I mean, he answers to it.
Mandos are people too, technically.
So
they're humanoid.
I don't know. But he goes in the saloon, and he's like the fob is after the blue guy,
the fish gill
Gills
guy.
McCoy.
Yeah, and that guy was a wuss. What comedian played him? Can't remember. His
Horatio Sands.
I don't know Horatio Sands. I can't.
Yeah, you do. He's the guy that always laughed with Jimmy Fallon in every SNL ever.
Oh, that guy.
Yes. Oh. They were good together.
Okay.
You know what? I like it when they laugh.
That's
cheap.
Jimmy Fallon.
It's a cheap laugh.
Jimmy Fallon laughs at everything.
And I like
Jimmy
it when
Fallon
they
would laugh at
I
terrorists.
like it when you keep it real.
Oh, Jimmy doesn't keep it real. Jimmy Fallon's gonna end up being on this show if I keep talking about him.
All right.
So the shootout happens, and then I like the fact. My greatest part was when they were dragging him out. He's like, "Yeah, I'll take you in warm, I'll take you in cold," type thing. And then he goes out, and then the spy guy with the little plague mask, and little gas mask guy on. He has his little recorder.
Calls them dust breathers.
His little flute.
Grief calls them dust breathers. There seems like a lot of.
There's certainly a lot of racism and bigotry in this world.
Dust breather.
Dust breather. He plays a little flute.
Yes.
And then the Uber shows up. And then we determine that the Mandalorian is racist and a Luddite.
He don't like droids.
Because he don't like droids. He's anti-droid.
He's a droidist.
We're pro-droid.
We're pro-droid.
I have an Android.
Although I have iPhone.
I have an Android. Close enough. So the little droid drives away brokenhearted, and then that other comedian shows up, which cost him his life. If only he had rode with the droid.
Brian Posehn.
Yeah, and he ends up getting eaten by the grapploid.
Graboids.
The ice grapploid that busted.
Graboid.
Yeah, it grabbed him. That's what I said. Why you keep correcting me?
Not graploid.
He jumps up and he grabs his speeder and eats him. And then they fly away after the Mandalorian pokes him with his cattle prod. What did you think about that ice monster? What was that?
That was pretty cool.
The blue guy said what it was, but I forgot what he said.
I don't know.
He said, "You're looking for blah, blah, blah." And it's like, yeah, I bet you are. What? Question. Why does he park so far away? Don't you think you could park close?
They did the same thing in Rogue One.
They park away. What's with people?
We're on a spaceship. Let's land far away and then walk slowly towards our target.
And y'all spread out about 10 yards apart.
I don't know. It's just like, you know what? It's good for visual effects.
I do the same thing when I go to Walmart. I park in the furthest parking spot away and I walk really slow. And they're like, "Do you need to return that?" And I was like, "Yes."
They see you coming.
I need a medium.
The buggy boys are like, "Here comes Jerry."
Yeah, here he comes. I need to return this sweater.
According to YouTube John Campea on this thing I'm looking at, it says The Mandalorian becomes the #1 show in the world 4 hours. This was 4 hours ago from when we're recording.
Wow.
I believe it. Star Wars is mega, and it's especially in the United States. Like The Force Awakens.
Because we have no creativity here.
It was like 900 and something million. It like blew away everything box office wise in the United States domestically.
Better than Avatar.
Avatar. But worldwide, it did not be Avatar.
It did.
It was #2.
Avatar Dances with Wolves.
Endgame came along. Huh? What?
Dances with Wolves in Space. My man, Kevin Costner.
My man.
So after
right.
I like that he had Apollo Creed. He goes to the bar and he's like, "Here's all the people I have captured," and gives back the fob. And Apollo Creed is like, "Nah, man, I can't pay you. I can pay you in this the imperial money that doesn't exist. It's like deflation has happened, or I can play you with the sushi."
Because the Mandalorian takes place after Return of the Jedi.
The fish sticks. I can play you in fish sticks.
The Empire is gone.
Sushi. Yeah, the calamari fish sticks. I can play
calamari.
Yeah, Here you go. Those guys.
Have you ever eaten calamari?
The squid?
Fried squid?
Yes, I have.
No, I don't like
I've
it.
did that and Escobar.
Escargot?
I'm thinking Pablo.
Pablo?
Yeah. Ah, this Escobar is wonderful. What's all this powder everywhere? No, escargot. Sugar. Yeah, I've had Escobar. It is good. I didn't like that. Number one, he stiffs him and is like, here, take this sushi, but I got another job for you. You can go take this. He acts like he sends the man. Okay, this is a plot hole. So the Mandalorian shows up and he goes sees the, what's his name? Herzog?
The client.
He goes sees the client.
Werner Herzog.
Herzog.
He's literally just mentioned as the client.
And Herzog's like, hey man, I'll give you this metal. I'll give you steel. This what was it called? The
Beskar.
Beskar. But
Beskar, the medal of the Mandalorian.
so does he have a bunch of Beskar? Because like he sent out a bunch of other
fobs?
Yeah. So like what was he paying these other guys? Did he save the Beskar for the Mandalorian?
Maybe he just pays them in their own medal of their species.
Everybody has your medal. Hello, I know you like bronze.
You like dirt?
That's
where you're from?
You show up and like, oh, Gobby, here's your cubic zirconia.
Pretty much.
They got this. Yeah, no.
What are you most familiar with?
What metal are you most familiar with? Here, take this Metallica CD. Oh, that was a good one. Boom. You're welcome.
Werner is just known as the client.
And he's just so evil.
So creepy.
I'd like to see him play a good guy, but he just has that bad guy.
Has he ever played a good guy?
I don't know. He's just being violent.
All I know him. Okay. I did not know of Werner Herzog until Jack Reacher movie.
Yeah.
Starring our man, my man, Tom Cruise.
I like that Werner Herzog told this guy, I'll shoot you, but I won't shoot you if you bite off one of your fingers. That was in one of the Jack Reacher shows.
That was it?
Fun
Must
fact.
have been the first one.
Yes, fun fact that it literally takes the same amount of pressure to bite a carrot in half, asunder, as it would to bite off one of your own fingers. So literally, if you could eat a carrot,
I'll be Dan Blanchett.
you could eat your finger off. So here's my question to you.
I can eat a carrot.
If I had that disruptor blaster to you and I said, if you don't bite your own finger off, would you be able to do it? Not now. I don't think I could.
Yeah. What's up, Doc?
I don't think I could. Oh, Werner Herzog, he had it figured out. So he pays him in the metal, and then off goes
Beskar steel
Mandalorian.
with Imperial stamp
Yeah. He goes to his girlfriend.
from the Purge.
Goes to his girlfriend.
The Purge apparently happened between. I was listening to other podcasts that were much smarter than us on Star Wars.
But you should probably listen to, aren't you?
And it was like between basically episode 1 and 3.
Yeah, somewhere.
So there was a
there.
purge somewhere dealing with the Mandalorians. There was there were some Mandalorians that like basically did whatever the Empire wanted, but the Mandalore itself was like anti-Empire. They were like neutral.
Yeah.
They were like
Switzerland.
Yes, the Switzerland of the Outer Rim.
Yes. But then here's one other thing. When he takes that metal to his ex-girlfriend or whatever it is, the one that's skilled in metallurgy, she's like making the armor.
She makes him have flashbacks. I know.
Yeah,
that
I
much.
don't understand that. Like every time he goes to this smelter, he gets a
Pounding of iron.
Pounding of iron.
Or Beskar.
Reminds me of Nom. I don't know why? Why does he keep going
Love
there?
the smell of Beskar in the morning.
Every time he sees it, he starts having these PTSD. Stop! Don't go there. Just
Don't go there.
Take her.
Go somewhere else.
Take her the mill and say, "Hey, I'll come back and pick this up." I can't.
Exactly. Just drop it off. You don't have to stay.
Do you have a drive-through? But she makes him a shoulder pad.
What a singular pad.
Here's the thing. I would think
And he walked through like he was all that with that single
I'd
pad.
have made me a vest or something to protect my throat.
Yes.
Not a shoulder pad. But she cranks that thing out, and he
Weakest part of the body is the shoulder.
I don't want to. My holocron process. I can't
That's my
afford that.
drawing arm.
Can't afford that getting taken out. Then he like reminds her that he does like some exposition and says, "Oh, I'm an orphan, whatever. I'm a foundling." So then he takes off with his shiny new shoulder pad and he flies to this planet and lands his plane again out in the middle of nowhere. Gets attacked by a tadpole.
And doesn't lock it up.
No.
Like, they never lock their ships up.
Do they not have LoJack in this place?
That becomes very important in episode 3.
And that's when Gary Busey shows up.
Yes.
Gary Busey's like, get
Nick
on.
Nolte, whatever. Go ahead.
Is it Nick Nolte or Gary Busey?
Nick Nolte.
Oh, I keep thinking it's Gary Busey. I'm sorry.
I've spoken.
They're the same to me.
Yes.
Anyways, so he shows up, and it's like a little, ride this frog.
Frog Riders.
Frog Rider.
By Steve Bonacore and Strong Gates.
Here's what I don't understand. How come, like, what did he do? Why didn't Nick Nolte be like, okay, this place, it's like 20 kilometers over there. And he just get in his plane and fly over there. Why do you have to ride the frog? Why are you committed to riding the frog?
Where would you get your story from?
I guess. But he rode the frog.
That's the whole thing. Like some things that you just got to make up for story points.
So he rides the frog and he gets to the
Frog Riders.
He gets to the hacienda, and there's all the bad guys there, and that's when the muffler man shows up.
IG-11.
IG-11, which was super cool. I like IG-11 because one, he reminds me of me. He's very
Voiced by Taika Waititi.
yes, he's thin and very
From
wiry.
Thor Ragnarok.
He's thin and very wiry, and
Wiry.
and he's also
I'm
very,
wiry.
He's very depressed.
The Replacements.
Keeps trying to shoot himself.
Anybody else?
Keeps trying to blow himself up.
Nobody?
The Replacements.
Yes.
Wiry.
I'm wiry.
I know. I remember that one.
You remember that?
I did.
Keanu
Reeves.
Whoa.
And that was
Keanu would have made a good Mandalorian. He doesn't have much to say.
But he's got that John.
He knows
Wick,
how to kick
he's got
butt.
that John Wick money. Pablo needs this money.
Pablo needs.
Pablo
Does he?
Pascal. I like literally. There was one science fiction B-level movie that came out, and I can't remember right now, that was really good. And I told you about it, that I seen him in, that I liked him.
Is that his voice?
Yes, that is his voice.
Okay.
Guess that's not him faking it.
Is that his walk?
No, he's putting it on.
Do you know that?
I know
like,
that.
Did they tell him to? Because like that like the first episode, I'm like, he walks like a certain way.
Yes.
It's like really.
What-
It's like he's walking down the
If
catwalk.
somebody put you out there and said, walk like a Mandalorian, how would you walk? Like, walk like a gunfighter.
I mean, it's just like super cool. It's like
does.
smooth.
He has a very smooth...
It is very smooth, like without, like it doesn't. There's no bounce to it. Have you ever been to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Washington D.C.?
I have indeed.
Have you watched The Guards?
I have indeed.
The way they walk
They
is
do.
like there's no bounce.
There's with the Marines, they walk that way. Have you
is
ever
super
seen?
cool.
Have you ever seen the Marines?
That's how he walks.
Have you ever seen the Marines do the little thing with the guns, with the
Yes.
rifles? I can't. That is absolutely amazing.
It
One,
is.
the fact that they have guys that go, oh, we're going to train to flip these guns this way. Just keep doing that in practice.
Impractical in war, but okay.
It doesn't matter, but you're going to be
It
able to
looks
do
super
it.
cool.
But it
It's
looks-
intimidating.
I see the changing of the guard in Britain, in London, at the mall, at the Buckingham Palace. That was
the mall?
That's what they call that strip leading up to Buckingham Palace. It's
Oh.
called the mall.
They're not like protecting goodies or something.
No, there was no Pier 1
records.
There was no Pier 1 imports. But yeah, the changing of the guard and those guys, they have that very staunch.
That's the walk.
That's the
when I
walk.
watch the Mandalorian walk, I'm like, that's
He's got the walk.
the Marine.
It got the walk.
It's
I like it.
smooth.
Smooth. I wish I could walk that way.
It's like Denzel.
I got bursitis.
Wish I could walk like Denzel.
Anyways, so
a bad
IG-11, he claps all these guys, and to me, IG-11,
IG-11 was cool.
I like the whole
Clack, clack,
backwards
clack, clack,
shooting
clack.
thing.
Oh, man, it was awesome.
and then
He tore
kept-
'em up.
Kept trying to initiate the self-destruct with it. Anytime things got the least bit bad, I'm just going to blow myself up. That's
And he was
kinda-
like, no!
no, stop it. Stop it.
That was good. That was funny. That's when, like, the Mandalorian kind of... That was, like, the first part of actual personality.
Well, yeah, to me, the Mandalorian...
It was funny. I love funny. But it was also like... He's like, no! It was like, I saw some personality in this show.
Yeah. So he's trying to blow him up, and they end up making it. He ends up getting the space laser Gatling gun and wiping everybody out. Then they bust into the room, and they
That was cool when he hopped on it and spun it around.
I like that, too.
That was good.
I like a Baby Yoda.
But maybe those guys were all good guys. We don't know.
Nobody really knows. They're all just
I'm just doing my job.
they're just Red Cross workers with this baby that they found, trying to protect it.
just protecting him when they got clapped.
Yeah, that's how it happens. So they find Baby Yoda, and then IG-11's like, let's kill this baby, which has never works
Baby
out.
Yodes.
Like, basically makes IG-11 nobody feels sad for him now, because he first was like, he's so cool, and then
Yeah.
as soon as he starts talking about baby side,
You messed up.
he messed up.
Yoda side.
Got shot in the head.
You messed up.
So
That was good.
now the
And so,
Mandalorian.
wait. So then
Then they do
they
the whole
find Baby Yoda. Yes,
the ET finger
he does
pointing
the
thing.
little baby holds out his finger
finger.
and no wait, Mandalorian holds out his finger towards Baby Yoda.
Like this. with his 3 prongs.
Insane cut.
Episode 2.
I'm in tears. Adorable. I will say,
I declared it the best show ever when that scene
Jerry was like, he calls me because he saw it first. Oh my God, it's the greatest show ever. I watched it and it was a little slow for me. The first episode, I was like, I know it's a setup episode, and Jerry told me it's a setup episode. It's a little slow.
Cut in half.
I know, but that was like the
Ice
first scene.
trapezoids.
I
Werner
understand.
Herzog.
I know.
Tadpoles.
When you go from
Nick Nolte.
you're going from Star Wars, which is an epic space opera. I mean, it's hard to beat.
It was.
Now we're going down to this like it's like a micro story on this one dude. We're literally watching one man
Microcosm.
all the way through.
Yeah, I like that.
And I was like, I'm like, It was okay.
Not you mean.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was very good. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, it's a little slow. We just followed this one dude, and then they fought in the end and found Baby Yoda. Baby Yodes. Totes adorbs. I'm in.
Second episode.
Second episode
blew me away.
Second episode kicked it up a notch.
It did. First off, I like the questionable thing of instead of riding the tadpole back home, they just left the tadpole and decided to walk on foot. Made absolutely no sense. Why in the world do you ride the frog there and then get there and then be like, no, I got this baby that can follow me in this hovercraft crib.
Yeah.
I'm just going to walk. But he does. And thank God that he does.
Through ravines,
because then he gets attacked by those 3 Trandoshans and he gets to cattle prod them. And then we get to see why
more fobs.
Why that scene existed.
Fobs.
Because he disintegrates somebody.
Fobs everywhere.
Which I don't know what's better.
Fobs
or
everywhere.
Disintegration. And so then the most controversial thing of the film is when he finds the Jawas, the intergalactic pawn shop owners, dismantling his ship, and he decides to start shooting unarmed Jawas. I'm
disintegrating them.
I'm anti
disintegration
against Jawas.
Anti-disintegration.
Anti-disintegration. Darth Vader was against it. That man choked people to death. That man literally choked people to death.
Don't choke on your aspirations.
Using. Yeah.
That's when I checked out of Rogue One.
He's just choking. Yeah, I mean, so now he's choking people down, but even he told Boba Fett, don't disintegrate people. So if Darth Vader's against it, I'm against it. That's just how I feel.
I agree.
He starts clapping these poor Jawas that were just looking to,
They just thought they found them like a good treasure.
And then the epic train robbery of basically what that was.
Great train robbery.
Train robbery. Jumping on the sand crawler and throwing Jawas everywhere and then finally getting stunned. It was great, but it also proved that the Mandalorian is not infallible. Like he's been shot several times.
He was a good fighter in the first episode and first third of this episode.
Yeah, he often shows that he's not perfect. Like he's not this guy. He's like that Indiana.
He's not infallible.
He's like that Indiana Jones thing. He gets beat up, but then he clutches it.
Well, they stole straight from Indiana Jones when they were running that tank in Indiana Jones in Last Crusade. Yeah. And he's like hanging on and then pulls up there before they hit the mountain.
Well, you got to do that.
That was a straight.
So after he gets clapped by the Jawas,
that was a salute to George.
He goes back to Nick Nolte and is like, "Hey man, what are we gonna do?" He's
they stole my shit, bro.
I'll go get it for you. All they want's this Cadbury egg.
Suka.
But then first off, this whole "my guns are my religion."
That's good. That was a good line.
That was a good line. He keeps delivering these solid one-liners.
He says, "My guns are my religion,"
as is the feelings of all Texans, and thus he ends up going and deciding that he's going to fight this rhino that I guess mudhorn. It's a mudhorn, which almost kills him, damages his armor, and he retrieves his hairy egg.
He's fighting it. No way. He's fighting this mudhorn to get this suka, the egg for the Jawas, because that's the only way they're going to give him his parts for his ship back.
Correct.
So he goes there and he's fighting this thing, and it's beating the snot out of him, and it's charging him. And what happens?
Baby Yoda. He does the Force. So, riddle me this. How does Baby Yoda, who is a baby, how does he know he can do that?
He's 50 years old.
But how does he learn that?
He's like a toddler.
Who taught him that?
He's super powerful.
He just knows.
Much like Rey, who can apparently defeat a dark Jedi on her first try.
Rey is a dog.
Without even knowing. Like, he says Jedi in Force Awakens, and she goes, no, he says the Force, and she goes, oh yeah, the Force, when they're lightsaber fighting at the end. She closes her eyes for 5 seconds.
And she's got it.
And she starts tearing him up.
Don't you?
That's all it takes.
Don't you want
like,
that?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Tony the Tiger.
You mean?
Oh yeah.
It's
the
like
Kool-Aid Man
that's
showed
the
up.
one thing I've been missing. It's like that. I took a.
I feel something. It's the Force. Oh,
That's what
it is.
I took one of those fitness boot camps once, and this guy kept yelling at me when I was doing this thing. Kept yelling at me to engage my core, and I was too afraid to ask. What did he mean? What is your core? And then one day I Googled that.
You're like chewing apples,
Yes,
trying to get to the
engage
core.
your core. If he would have yelled eject the core, I would have known what he means. It means your plasma is getting messed up. Your antimatter, you got to eject that
Yes.
thing, Jordy. But he kept yelling.
Nuclear vessels.
Yes. But when they say engage your core, they mean like your core muscles.
Engage.
Like your abdomens. Yeah, abdominals.
Your core, literally, that's only ever referred to as your stomach.
Yeah, what about your
stomach muscles.
back? How do you
that not
engage
your
your
core?
back?
I never hear them say engage your
Your
back.
pecs. How do you
Pecs
engage
aren't
your
your core.
pecs? Terry Crews can.
Oh, well, I can't.
Well, I can't either.
I can slap them and then they jiggle.
Yeah. That's not what they
Try
mean.
right now.
Jiggle your cores.
Jiggle your core.
Jiggle your core. Oh, the body's a strange thing. That made me think of this. You realize that if your butt crack was horizontal, you would clap when you run up the stairs. Somebody sent me that. I think Enrique sent me that on Twitter. Or no, he sent me that on a meme or something.
Enrique's good for one thing, it's memes.
He's got the memes down. What are we talking about? Mandalorian. Yeah, it's a good show. It's a good show.
I'm glad we doing a podcast strictly for this.
So yeah, Yoda, how's he got the Force thing going?
Baby Yodes.
How's he know?
Well, that's the whole story. We
don't know.
Is it like super powerful in this particular species, whatever Baby Yoda is? We don't know.
Do you think?
Is he going to be part of Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalkers?
That would blow me away.
Like a teenage Yodes?
Teenage
like, hey,
Yoda.
man.
A millennial Yoda?
The millennial
He doesn't want
Yoda.
to use the Force?
He's so upset with everything, hates everything.
No, that's not going to happen.
You don't know.
I know. I'm tapped in.
He's wearing all black.
He's an emo Yoda.
He's emo Yoda.
Emo Yoda.
Starts dancing. Emo music.
I just listen to Green Day.
No, wait. Who's the band that everyone hates?
It's the Imagine Dragons, or who is it?
The Imagine Dragons of the 90s.
The Imagine Dragon. Oh, Nickelback.
Nickelback.
I'm sorry. Nickelback. That's how you remind me.
Just like a paperback never.
Oh, but anyways, so Baby Yoda uses
So Baby
the Force,
Yoda, the Mudhorn was literally fixing to wipe out
and then
the Mando.
Mando gets his viper blade out, which is basically just a blade that vibrates when you're scared.
Yes.
Or does it vibrate
It's
anytime?
like a turkey cutting knife.
Turkey cutting knife. It's like the automatic turkey carver. I've got my turkey
A remote
carver.
control turkey cutter. That's all it is.
Come at me right now. And then he stabs the thing, kills it, and then steals its
This is the
egg.
thing. Like, his knife is small.
I don't
That
get
thing
that.
is massive.
There's no way that would have worked.
That would just barely penetrated the outer skin.
That didn't work.
But it killed it
I'm calling
immediately.
it. I'm calling
Tongue
foul.
hanging out and everything.
I'm calling foul on that. Calling foul. A turkey carver would not take down a rhino. He steals the Cadbury egg. He takes it back to Jawas. They cut it
They
open.
eat the yolk?
Eat it. And then he tries to
Just yoking around.
hire Nick Nolte to go with him.
This is my...
But Nick Nolte's
Apparently, Mandos are solitary in all their actions. He tries to get... does he try to get him to go with
yeah,
him?
he says, and he's like, "Oh, don't want to." I've tried.
So in the future episodes, he tries to get. I would think he'd be collect. Like, I'm expecting a collection of a team.
I am too. I
Like
am
the
too.
Justice League.
Like all these people come back.
Like
I have spoken.
Get the Nick Nolte guy. Get Cara Dune, who's in episode 4.
All these
and
peeps.
just collecting this team, and they're going to protect Baby Yoda.
That's exactly what you got to do.
But I don't know if that's going to happen. But according to IMDb,
But you can't trust
these
them.
characters are in for future episodes that we have not seen yet.
can
So
trust me,
maybe it's
though.
going to happen.
Who knows? I don't know.
But-
All I do know
but
this is the greatest show I've seen in a long time.
It's very entertaining. I like the Western theme of it, and I like the fact that Disney Plus is going this route. If they're going to make different genres of Star Wars, we're going to make a Western Star Wars with The Mandalorian. We're going to make a political espionage, basically, what was that, West Wing version with Obi-Wan, or a spy version with Obi-Wan.
Hello there.
Like Marvel did that with their movies.
They did.
They had like just straight up action. They had like spy versions with Captain. They had just different type of genres within their films. If they could do that with these shows, that's going to be great.
It's great. I love it.
That's good stuff.
Follow us on our next Pod Snap or listen to our primary podcast, the Board Game Snobs podcast, which is about board games and other things. We thank you for listening. Next episode, we'll talk about episode 3 and 4. And that's all
Bye.
we have time for. We have spoken.